Good morning, lecturer and everyone. My name is Nguyễn Trúc, and today I will present my final assessment of this model. In this presentation, I will use the SPSS to examine the factors associated with customer satisfaction at Footlong. So my presentation will consist of six main parts. First, I will introduce the research objective and the research data. Second, I will present the descriptive analysis. Third, I will evaluate the reliability of the measurement scales using the compact alpha. After that, I will present the EFA, the exploratory factor analysis, and multiple regression results. Finally, I will summarize all of the main findings and provide the recommendation for Footlong. The main objectives of this research is to identify the factors associated with customer satisfaction at Footlong. Research model will contain the independent variables like service quality, the SQ, price perception, the PR, product quality, the PQ. Besides, we have dependent variable, which is customer satisfaction, the CS. The dataset contains the 105 valid responses. The original questionnaire included 20 measurement items across four constructs. All of the measured were using a 5.1, well, ranging from 1 to 5, well, like from strongly disagree to 5, the strongly agree, like that. Coming into the descriptive analysis. So these two slides are the two parts of the same descriptive analysis table. Each item have 105 valid responses and the responses range from 1 to 5. First, for the SQ4, which measure the cleanliness and the comfort of the store environment, received the highest mean of 4.01. The SQ5, which represents the satisfaction of the overall service experience, also received a relatively high mean of 3.97. In contrast, the SQ1 relating to the employee politeness and the professionalism received the lowest mean within the service quality at 3.57. For price perception, the PR2, which measure the which measures the whether the price are clearly displayed or not, received the highest mean of 3.78. The PR3 measured the price competitiveness compared to other brands, could receive the lowest mean of 3.55. So this suggested that the respondents generally understood that footlong pricing, but they were less positive about whether the price were competitive or not. Moving into the product quality, well, I would say that it will have the range from 3.7 to 3.78. The PQ3, which measures the menu variety, received the highest mean of 3.78. The PQ4, relating to the customer's perception of the ingredient safety, received the lowest mean of this group at the 3.7. For customer satisfaction, the CS3, well, I would say that it has represents the customer intention to continue using Footlong or not, received the highest mean of 3.79. However, the CS4, measuring the intention to recommend Footlong to other people, has received lowest satisfaction means of 3.59. Well, overall, the descriptive result indicate that the respondents had moderately positive perception of Footlong. However, the company has the opportunities to improve the price competitiveness, the ingredient confidence, the customer's willingness to recommend the brand. Next, I will conduct the reliability analysis using the Compact Alpha. For service quality, the SQ1 to SQ5, the Compact Alpha was 0.86, which is higher than the requirement of zero point 0.7. The corrected item total correlations range from the one that had the 0.598 to 0.718, since all of the value were higher than the minimum requirement of zero point 0.3 or 5. See the all 5 of the SQ items met the criteria of the reliability, so they were all retained. Well, for PR, the price perception, the Copax alpha was 0.817. Well, and all of the values of the corrected item total correlations were higher than zero point 0.3. In addition, the convex alpha if item were deleted value was lower than the overall alpha. So, which means that removing an item would not improve the reliability of the scale. So, all of the PR were retained. Well, coming into the product quality, the complex alpha was 0.844, indicating the good reliability. However, the PQ1, yeah, in the first line, has the lowest corrected item total correlation at 0.509. And the table will show that the complex alpha, if item were deleted, is 0.852. So this shows that if we delete the PQ1, the complex alpha will increase from 0.844 to 0.852 if it was deleted. So I would say that although the PQ1 was still above the minimum requirement of zero point 0.3, it was removed to slightly improve the internal consistency of the PQ scale. After removing the PQ1, the product quality scale contained 4 items. The complex alpha increased to 0.852. The corrected item total correlation of the remaining item has decreased, as you can see on the table. Well, this value shows that remaining 4 items has the good internal consistency. So all of the revised product quality scale were retained for the following analysis. For customer satisfaction, Compact Alpha was 0.83, 0.834. All 5 the corrected item correlations were higher than the zero point 0.6. Furthermore, the alpha if item were deleted values was lower than the Compact Alpha. So all of these 5 SQ CS is still retained for the upcoming analysis. Well, on this slide show the summary result of the reliability test. The service quality, the price perception, the product quality, the customer satisfaction has the reliable result. As you can see, all of the numbers on this table, because all of the numbers were has the value higher than zero point 0.7, and all of the retained item has the corrected item total correlation above the zero point 0.3. So all of the 4 measurement scales were considered reliable. Coming into the EFA, well, after confirming the reliability of the measurement scales, I conduct the EFA, the exploratory factor analysis. Well, the initial KMO value was 0.8779, which is well above the minimum acceptable value of zero point 0.5. So this indicates that the sample was suitable for the factor analysis. Then, with a significant value below than the 0.001, SPSS displays this result at 0.0000, but it should be interpreted as less than the 0.001 rather than exactly 0 like this. So therefore, the item had sufficient correlations for conducting the EFA. But coming into the initial rotated component matrix, exactly three components. However, several items show the cross-loading problems. For example, the PQ3 loading loaded the two components, and the difference of these two loadings was only about 0.19. The PQ2 also have two components, and so as the PR4 with the value of 0.533 and 0.591. So these items would not clearly represent only one factors. So therefore they needed to be reconsidered before conducting the final factor analysis. Well, to improve the clarity of the factor structure, the items were removed step by step. PQ2, PQ3 was removed because they showed a strong cross-loading between component 1 and component 2. PR4 was also removed because they were loaded more than one component, and the difference between two its loading were too small. After removing this item, I conducted the EFA again using the remaining variables. After removing the KMO was about 0.841. This value was above zero point 0.5, indicating that the revised dataset was still suitable for the factor analysis. Yeah. And the Bartlett test remaining the significant has a significant level below, still below than 0.001. So therefore, the revised factor analysis were appropriate for further interpretation. The revised rotated component matrix produce a clearer three-component structure, as you can see. The SQ1, SQ2, SQ3 strongly on the component 1. The item mainly represent the employee related to service quality, including the professionalism, service speed, and customer support. The PQ4, PQ5, SQ4, SQ5 was loaded on the second component, as you can see at the table. So this result may indicate that the respondents considered the product quality, the store environment, the overall service, the experience as the part of broader customer experience factor. The four retained price perception items loaded on component 3. So overall, the revised structure was really clear. However, there was still some overlap between the service experience and product quality related experience. So the EFA result must be interpreted with some caution, I would say. I will now move to the regression analysis. So before interpreting the regression results, examine normality of the residual. The histogram was approximately bell-shaped. So this means that it's really close to zero, and its standard deviation was approximately 0.985, which is close to number one. In the normal PP regression plot, the most observations were relatively close to the diagonal reference line, although some deviation was visible. Well, overall, the residuals were considered approximately normally distributed. So the normality assumption was reasonably satisfying, I would say. The normal summary showed that the R square R value of the R value the R value of 0.772, indicating a relatively strong relationship between three independent variables and customer satisfaction. The R square is 0.596. So this means that the service quality, the price perception, and the product quality jointly explain about 59.6% of the variance in the customer satisfaction. The remaining for about 40% may be related to other factors that were not included in my research. So the adjusted R square has a value of 0.584, which is very close to the original R square. So this suggested that the explanatory power of the model remained relatively stable after considering the number of predictors. So the Deming Watson has the value in this table is close to number 2 and does not indicate the really serious residual autocorrection problem. Finally, the ANOVA result produced an F value, the F value of 49.586 with a significance level below than the 0.001. Yeah, and therefore the overall regression model was significant. Yeah. So, this coefficient table represents the individual contribution of each of the independent variable. The SQ had the unstandardized coefficient and the standardized beta. So, however, its significance value was only 0. 0.353, which is greater than the 0.05. So therefore, the SQ did not have a significant unique effect on the customer satisfaction after the price perception and the product quality were controlled. So for the PR, the price perception had the unstandardized coefficient and the standardized beta. Its significance value was 0.005. Therefore, the PR has a relatively positive and significant relationship with the customer satisfaction. Finally, the PQ has the unstandardized coefficient of 0.54 and the highest standardized beta at 0.545. Its significant level was below than the 0.001. So that's why the product quality has the strongest predictor of the customer satisfaction. So based on the result of both, we will have the regression equations. As you can see, I showed on the screen. And I can conclude that the product quality has the strongest significant predictor of the customer satisfaction. Well, based on the previous result, two of the hypotheses were supported, which is like the price perception and the product quality, except for the service quality. So because it has the value of 0.3, yeah, about that, which is greater than 0.05. So it was not supported. But for the hypothesis 2 and 3, they have the value of 0.005 and the H3 has the 0.001. So based on these findings, I would define the priority for Fublang. The first priority is the product quality. The company should maintain the consistent product quality across the different stores, improve the ingredient quality, the safety of the ingredient, ensure that the product meet the customer expectation, continue to developing attractive and suitable menu option. The second priority should be price perception. Phúc Long should improve the customers' perceived value of for money, review its price competitiveness, communicate the relationship between price and quality more clearly, and offer more attractive promotions and loyal and the customers loyal benefits. Although the service quality is not one or two priority, but it should not be ignored. The professional employee behavior, service speed, customer support, and a comfortable store environment remain necessary foundation of the customer experience. So, in conclusion, product quality was the strongest predictor to the customer satisfaction. Secondly, is the price perception, and we still, Phúc still need to maintain the service quality after all. Well, and thank you, you guys, for watching my video. Thank you, you guys, for my attention. And if you have any question, you can send an email to me. You can contact me via Zalo group. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching my video.